Blue Island takes us on a deep dive into the aftermath of Hong Kong's anti-extradition bill enacted in the year 2019, as well as the security laws adopted in the year 2020 and all of the ensuing arrests, showcasing reenactments of a few select trials. This film also turns back time to revisit Hong Kong's umbrella movement and a number of other major events in Hong Kong's history. These examples, among others that were spoken of in the film, all indicate that the film's primary theme is resistance. Throughout the film, we are shown Hong Kongers resisting colonialism and standing up for their right to freedom. The film shifts perspectives a lot, but each perspective is unified under the umbrella of protest. The film retells real stories by utilizing participants who were part of the 2019 anti-extradition law amendment movement in Hong Kong. So the scenes that were recreated for the film feel more authentic because they can understand the mentality of fighting for the cause. This film is only 2 years old, and a lot of the points it's making still ring true today and have been for a very long time. In Chapter 8 of Introduction to Documentary by Bill Nichols, Nichols explains that through political documentary, viewers gain insight into a world that is largely unfamiliar to them, and they discover what they have to say about the familiar world with respect to them. This ties back to the theme because it shows that we are able to learn about a world unfamiliar to us and gain understanding of them through connecting it to our familiar world. An article published by The Guardian in 2019 titled, "China Continues to Deny Tiananmen, But We Won't Let the World Forget," details how the Chinese government for years has denied the horrific events that took place in 1989 in Tiananmen Square that were also referenced in the film. As recent events would show, powerful governments will even use their weapons on peacefully protesting students for the sake of silence and censorship. This film's main argument is that the people of Hong Kong have been put through enough by both the British and Chinese governments and deserve to be free from suffering. This was mentioned several times throughout the film and conveyed to the audience just how harshly and unfairly these activists were treated. This film's biggest weakness is its unwillingness to explore one topic in microscopic detail. The film does start us off with speaking about the effect the anti-extradition bill as well as the security law have had on Hong Kongers as a whole, but then quickly shifts to the umbrella movement and then to several other movements that have affected Hong Kongers over the years. While the film does a good job at conveying each time period and why it's important, it would have served it well to increase its runtime and become more granular with each of these time periods, or sacrifice a few to further explore others. Also, while the archival footage was a good touch, some reenactments felt a bit forced, like the one featuring the participant swimming in the ocean during the storm. The way this film represents this topic is masterful because it does it in a way that allows the audience to truly feel what these people have gone through and relate it to things they've seen in their own experience, while also not being so broad as to require you to come into it with background knowledge.
各位，1989年4月15號至到今日，中國史上出現咗最大規模嘅群眾運動，要求民主同埋自由，引起海內外億萬個中國人嘅齊心關注。
星期二檔案今晚特別將呢場運動整成一輯，播俾大家睇下。今次參加遊行學生嘅人數估計係有幾十萬人。 不過實際上嘅數字就冇人可以知道。我哋喺現場只係見到整條長安街都係佈滿轉動嘅人頭。
沿途學生高叫口號同埋唱歌，遊行兩邊就有學生組成嘅雙重糾察線，秩序整齊。旁邊圍觀嘅群眾都發出支持學生嘅歡呼聲。
The director combines multiple modes in Blue Island. In fact, it does a bit of all of them throughout the entire film. Reenactments, archival footage, the filmmakers being shown, actors being prepared for filming, people who connect to the liberation of Hong Kong. We're also being informed of what has taken place in Hong Kong's past, present, and potential future. Traditionally in documentaries, you would choose a mode and stick with it, but it's possible to combine modes, as the director has shown, to make something unique among the homogenized documentaries of the past and present. Despite its unique look and great footage, the story seems to be all over the place. Telling a great story, but at times when they choose to show the chaotic scenes are quickly interrupted by somewhat somber, or sometimes on another level, melancholy scenes, or a simple interview. Its structure is very episodic and sort of reminds me of the days when I would sit down and watch a TV during a 6-episode marathon of one of my favorite shows. Because of this, there's more of an experience with each of the participants. The intimacy felt between the participants and the filmmaker is felt as we see the actors interacting with the people they are playing. Much care has gone into making sure everything is portrayed correctly, and it's easy to feel connected to each of these people, whether they are the real people or the actors playing them. The innovation Blue Island provides is a fresh take on documentaries, and is still able to evoke emotion and make the viewer empathetic of the people of Hong Kong.
即係譬如你係驚喎，即係就算而家拍戲我都驚，你死未？咁你嗰陣時喺呢度係點過？你係點樣捱呢啲日子？
真係唔知點捱。喺呢個感化院咧，個日子就係一到晚喺個恐懼之中，喺恐懼之中咧，你冇晒 dignity， 冇晒尊嚴，你又唔知自己嘅 future 點。但係我個人咧，我真係覺得好平和，但係變咗做，佢俾你打埋呢鑊之後，即係我個心就係要用一種嘢嚟代替我個恐懼，就係憤怒。
我係一個10月1號嘅一個被捕者嚟嘅，所以我會對，所以我就係解答咗點解會參與呢個電影啦。其實你上咗庭未？想一直想都係押後嘅。咁我係告咩咧？我就。
In Blue Island, the audience is consistently reminded that this documentary is a retelling of the story and not the story itself. From reenactments to filming the camera, film the reenactments, the filmmakers make it incredibly clear that the audience is meant to watch this documentary with the hopes of understanding what the Hong Kongers went through, and not the facts of the event. Since this documentary came out only 2 years ago, it displays very contemporary reflexive mode techniques. Director of Blue Island, Siwoon Chan, understood that he must make it clear to the audience that this is an expression, not a representation, which was seen in the reenactments through the documentary. Chan also shows this by showing the filmmakers with the participants that are acting in the reenactments. In an article by Richard Coopers, we understand how Chan creates multiple layers to the documentary by using real-life participants from the past protests that are awaiting trial. This use of weaving reality with reenactments not only keeps the audience interested, but also helps us understand the difference between the reality of the documentary and the reality of the events. One of the documentary's main themes is remembering the people that gave their future freedom. And at some point, Chan even has the protesters that have spent time in jail and the protesters awaiting trial have a conversation. This theme is very difficult to understand, which is why Chan decides to beautifully construct a representation of reality that embraces all those truths.